Hello, everyone.
Welcome to the third episode of this podcast, Motive to be Productive. In this episode, we're going to be talking about cooking during quarantine time. Before we start to talk about cooking, we would like to explain something to you, our dear audience, and that is we have decided to talk about topics that are related together in the same language, meaning that we decided to talk about cooking and films and TV series in English because these two were the two common leisures that people did during quarantine time. And then we decided to talk about online studies, laziness, and stress in Farsi because then again, these three topics were related to each other. So I would like to start this episode by asking my friend Yousof this one important question. So Yousof, when was the first time that you started learning how to cook? When was what age were you when you became interested into learning this art?
Actually, I was 7 or 8 years old. I was in elementary school. I felt that I have to be, yeah, I felt that I have to be different from my other classmates, and I wanted to make or to prepare my snacks and lunch by myself instead of my mom. And I wanted to get the taste of independence from that age. I started to cook the basic foods that like omelets or simple eggs, or making the sandwiches for my own classes. But as I came here in Canada 3 years ago, I started to develop my cooking skills to try the more international cuisine, not just Persian traditional foods. And this is the picture of my newest dish, the crab, which I grilled
Wow,
recently.
it, it looks
Yes.
amazing.
Yeah. Actually, living alone was one of the most important things that inspired me to cook for myself instead of ordering from the restaurant. That was the main reason. And from now, please tell us about yourself, Daria. When did you start to cook, or what happened that you decided to cook?
So if you remember, I wasn't that interested into cooking. The only dishes that I knew were again how to make an omelet or a simple chicken fillet, which is just a fillet and you toss it in a pan and use, olive oils or grapeseed oil. It's not that hard. It's a simple thing to do. And I wasn't very interested in learning how to cook. However, as I became more mature, I understood the importance of learning this important skill, and how it is essential for someone who wants to live as an independent person, right? So when this pandemic happened and we figured out that we're going to be staying at home for some time, I said, well, this is the best time for me to push myself and to learn the skill in another way.
Exactly.
And and do you remember the first day that I started cooking, tough dishes, which was korma sabzi for a non-Iranian audience? Korma sabzi is a stew, is a very very famous Persian stew that it's worldwide known amongst Iranians, and even now a lot of non-Iranians like it as well. So going back to our conversation, Yusuf, do you remember the first day I had to make korma sabzi and I was asleep until 11?
And you wanted to make a korma sabzi for lunch.
Right, right. And my
You were
mom was
talking
like,
to me till 11 o'clock. You were
my
talking to
mom
me
was
till
worried.
11 o'clock.
Exactly, exactly. My mom was worried because she didn't want. She was like, we don't want to eat late. We want to have this for lunch. right? And she had her breakfast early in the morning, so she was starving. And I decided to make for myself at 11 a.m. I remember we were talking to each other, and that was the start of my basically passion for cooking. When I made that dish, I realized that wow, this is very fascinating, and I can create something, and that increased my passion and love for cooking. And from that moment, I started learning new dishes every day, which was a hard thing. But the good thing was that it kept me busy. It kept my mind busy. Because again, referring back to cooking in quarantine time, as we all know, a lot of individuals had no choice but to learn how to cook because there were no restaurants, no takeout, no nothing. Correct? And then
Exactly.
exactly, and then for myself, for my own individual self, cooking basically helped me to not go into depression. Why? Because I'm an active guy. Before that, I lived on my campus, University of Southern California, which is a humongous campus. It's very big, and and I was extremely active. But then going from being active to doing nothing, it kind of leads you into depression. I
Exactly.
was
I think
for
I think I think this quarantine time or this COVID situation is a good time for persons like you who wants to start cooking and a persons who wants to develop or learn a new cuisine because you have lots of free times and it's a good experience actually.
exactly, and it's trying, and learning. Like in in Farsi, we say "azmun khata," meaning we try new dishes, right? And
Fail
you
in
know,
making the dishes and try it
and
again
fail
tomorrow.
and try it again. Exactly, exactly. So, Yusuf, let's circle back to you, and I would like to ask you this question, and I want you to talk about it. So, the question is, you are compared to a lot of our friends, our mutual friends, and myself. You are an experienced chef, and you know how to make a lot of dishes, right? I'm not kidding. People who know you know that your cooking is very good, and you have the skills. So my question is, what is your advice to PE students and in general people who want to start cooking now? Especially those who are not interested into learning
Yeah.
this skill.
Actually, the main advice is that you can make your mind free from hard things or your studies or like COVID. When you're at home, you can go outside, and the cooking is one of the best things to just spend your time with. And making traditional Persian cuisine takes lots of time. Like for masabzi that you mentioned, takes more than 3 hours. You know, and
Right.
actually, this skill, cooking skill, is not limited. You can have it during a lifetime, and you can use it when you're older, not just right now. So, for me as advice, I'm not like a person who wants to advise because I know some persons prefer to just order from restaurant. But for me as a person who I think I'm really interested, and I'm not really bad in cooking. I think you tried my food,
No,
but
you're good, man. You're good. Don't be too down to earth. You're
if
good.
actually my advice is this quarantine time is the best time for persons who wants to start and for persons who wants to develop their knowledge in cooking
Correct.
actually. Yes.
Correct. Correct.
And actually I have
So
one question from you.
yes, go ahead.
What was your feel when you start cooking, and what was the taste of your first food, the korma sabzi that you made?
So the taste was good, and the reason is that I had my mom's supervision, meaning that she didn't
Oh,
she didn't make the food. No, no. The supervision. Let me be clear, everyone. Like she didn't make it. I made it, But she supervised and explained to me how to, mix the ingredients.
She
But
was the
but it,
source. She was the
exactly,
source.
source of
Like
my
study, when you
inspiration.
forget something, you will check the book. Your mom was like the source.
That's how especially Persian moms are, right? Because you also
Exactly.
mentioned that you learned cooking from your mom, and I'm learning it from my mom. So God bless them. We love them all, and yes. So the taste was good, and the feeling was excellent because I felt that I can create something, and it made me feel like an artist, and it was fun. It was fun. But
So good.
my recommendation for you know people like me who at first weren't interested in cooking but now want to learn is that just go for it. You might mess up dishes, that's fine, but just do it. Just make dishes. You have to make and make and make these dishes and try them, and you will improve and become better. This is what I'm doing. I used to do it every day, but I'm doing it now like twice or three times a week. I have to be more
Nice.
active.
Nice. So, in conclusion, I want to ask from you, our dear audiences, please share your latest dishes pictures with us in our Instagram direct. We will share it in our page, in Motive to be Productive page. Put it
Correct.
in the story or post, and let's see what you did during this quarantine time.
That's fascinating. Like we're very interested to see all your dishes and to share with everyone. And I would like to thank everyone from watching us, supporting us, and we would encourage you to reflect on this episode. In addition to sharing the pictures of your dishes, share your thoughts and experiences about the subject, cooking in quarantine or cooking in general with us. You can send us direct messages on our Instagram, and we hope that you enjoyed watching this episode. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow our Instagram page and share this video with your friends. Thank you and take care.
Take care. Take care. See you soon.
Thank you. See you soon.